I just started it. The recording is now on.
Okay. I don't know why we could hear her and not see her. Do you, Joe?
Maria, how is the real estate market there in New Jersey?
Jim, it is so busy. You can't believe, because
Yeah.
so many people are coming in from New York City.
Right.
They're getting the heck out of there.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
We're lucky to be the receivers of a
Right.
lot of these people.
Yeah. Yeah, Florida obviously has experienced the same thing, to the point that prices have gone up and the inventory is almost non-existent.
That's the same thing here.
Yeah,
Exactly the same thing. Most homes get multiple offers.
right.
They go over the asking price. It's wonderful if you're a seller.
Yeah.
Not so great on the other side.
Well, we have found some neighbors who have places, they're snowbirds, have decided to take advantage, and they're selling their northern house and
Oh, okay.
then just staying down here full time.
Not a bad place to be.
Yep.
Where you-
How are the crowds, Jim? Do you see any of the crowds that are down there for spring break?
No, not where we are. They're probably about 10 miles away at Fort Myers Beach. But, you know, whenever I saw the videos that they had on the news of what's going on at Miami Beach, that didn't look like the kind of spring break crowds that I've seen in the past. It's totally different. Here's Janet. Hi, Janet. And Ron and Adele.
Janet,
Hello.
Janet, here.
Hi, Ron and Adele.
Hi, Ron. We hear you.
Janet, you're muted.
Janet,
Unmute.
Maria and Janet.
Hello, Marie. Janet, hello.
Janet, raise your hand if you can hear us. She's asking for help.
There you are, Rita.
Rita.
Janet,
Hi,
can you hear
Rita.
us?
Hello.
Janet, can you hear us? Raise your hand. She can't hear.
She's muted.
Yeah, no, I know. Only she can unmute, or Lee, Joe, can you unmute her? Oh,
Janet,
no, she's unmuted. No, maybe
can you
not.
hear us, Janet? Janet,
Janet, you
I'm
hear
not
us?
hearing them. Why?
Yes, she's unmuted now.
Got any idea?
I think Maria's muted
I don't
too.
think she can hear us. Janet,
I hear them. I know. Yeah. Pull up the earphone.
Everybody's getting help.
We're technically challenged, Jim.
There you go.
Some of us. Am I on, Joe?
You're on.
Yes.
You're on, John.
You see us?
Yeah, y'all look great.
We have 9 here.
I have been drinking before I got on this call, so you do look great.
I want to go ahead and celebrate to that.
Whatever.
No, Joe, no, Joe, Joe,
I'm
no.
ready for that. Joe.
You know what? I'm ready tonight. I'm ready tonight.
Okay. All right.
You're not
Brian, what's your
alone.
shadow? What's your shadow, Brian?
My wine glass is a glass I got from my dad. It says the world champions 1960. It's the Pirates,
Pirates.
and it has all of their signatures on it.
Oh, nice.
And believe it or not, we use this as the everyday drinking glasses. You think we'd have it stored away because they're valuable, but it's kind of neat. Look at all the names and you remember from back then.
I'll be right back.
I was working downtown the day they won that game,
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, it was a mess downtown.
yeah.
I remember going downtown to after they won the game, like bingo, everybody went downtown.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get out of town. I was, trying to get a bus home.
Everybody
How
else
many-
now?
Tonight.
About 20.
Here comes Annie Nix.
Oh, we're gonna have 20.
It's a good number.
There's Andy.
From Las Vegas.
Andy, how you doing? You have your drink?
There he
Uh-oh.
is.
Is he doing for a drink?
I don't know.
He has a drink on his desk, I see.
Yeah, they've just opened up Las Vegas.
No, he didn't get a drink.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Jim, you keep sending me something that says you want to be a part of my Facebook group, which you've been for years.
Yeah, I was hacked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Does it keep coming through?
Still,
Really?
I haven't.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to. How do you stop that?
Change your password. Change your password.
Which
Why?
people,
Okay,
Just change your password.
okay.
Don't feel bad, Jim. I've been called a hack for years.
Didn't see it.
Hello.
Hi, Cass.
Cass,
How you
Hi,
doing?
Cass.
How are
Hi,
you?
Rita. Hi, Seal. How's everybody?
No.
We're all fine. How about you?
Oh, great, great. You all look great.
Drink too.
Oh, yeah, drink to that. It turned on all right, huh? Hi, Anne Marie. You guys have been working hard. Your team, Adele and Ron, Don, everybody.
it's actually been
Joe.
Brian.
a lot of
Oh,
fun
yeah,
being
Joe
able,
does a lot.
to keep in touch.
That's great.
Yeah.
How many are we expecting tonight?
At 20.
Oh, that's great.
Good.
And with about 3 minutes to go before 7, we're missing 2 of the folks on the agenda. So
Yeah.
they sometimes get the time zone changes.
here's Lee.
Hey, Lee. Okay.
Where's the? There
I
he
better,
is.
I better text Mert.
I see half a Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Reverend Lee, good afternoon.
There we go. Takes a couple of minutes to get everything going. Hi, Maria.
How are you, Phil?
I'm good. I'm good.
See you. Good to
I'm
see you
checking
all.
everybody out here. I think I see everybody. Janet,
Hi,
hey, how you doing?
Andy.
Good. I'm
Lee, you
glad.
might want to close your shutters so we could see your smiling face.
Who are you
There you
talking
go.
to? You're talking to Maria?
Yeah, the folks that said that they would participate that aren't here. Carol Benedetto,
Oh,
Rita's here, Larry Grimmenstein.
Carol Benedetto isn't going to be here.
No.
She called me a little bit ago.
Nancy Hebner,
Oh,
Judy,
I just sent Merton a text message.
Judy Pira, Shyla Marie, El Spangler,
Lord.
Bill Whitmore. That's the only ones we're missing.
You know how those old people are, we forget. What day is today? Is today the 23rd?
Post-its, they work.
Don't say that around Nancy Fern Hebner.
Why?
Last time she was all set to watch us on Wednesday night.
Oh, that's right.
Well, she's not here yet.
She's not here. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
Judy.
Who's that?
Hello, Judy.
Hey, Judy.
Judy, welcome, Judy.
Here's
Judy,
Larry.
Judy.
What happened to Rita?
Oh, really?
Rita's gonna talk to Fern tomorrow.
I keep asking her to unmute, but that hasn't happened yet.
Hey, Larry.
No, Jim.
Larry, can
Hi, Jim.
you hear us, Larry?
We can't hear you.
Can see you, but not here.
Oh, you're on, right?
There's Rita. Rita
There
came
I
back.
am. I told you I'd come back eventually. I am very technically challenged.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no. You're doing fine.
I have a question. Have any of you read Andy's book, The Three Lives of Peter Novak?
Which one?
Lives of Peter Novak.
No, I didn't read that one.
About his grandfather. It's a wonderful book.
Really?
Yeah, we read it here in Meadville.
Thank you, Janet.
There's Nancy.
There she is.
On the right day. Excellent.
Hello.
Hi, Nancy.
You're
Hi,
on,
Nancy.
Nancy. Oh, long lost Maria.
Right.
He hasn't gone anywhere.
School.
Is anyone getting older? I'm not.
No.
No, I didn't think so. We're cool.
Hey,
No.
Priscilla.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Joe.
Who's that, Bill?
Yep.
Hey, Bill.
Hi,
Hi,
Bill.
good evening, everyone.
Hi,
Good
Bill.
evening.
Hi, Bill.
I feel like a magical experience every time I hook into something like this.
Weird.
You sound like the evening news starting.
Which
true.
network, though?
Yeah, I have a hard time turning the TV on too.
A lot of people are since the election, that's for sure. No, the ratings have just gone down and down and down.
Down and down and down and down.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll wait for Anna
But
Marie
I
to.
live out here where all the illegals like to come. So that they can use our state money.
Where do you live, Nancy?
Albuquerque, not too
Oh.
far. Albuquerque, one of the many places I've lived, but now I'm in Albuquerque.
How close to the border is Albuquerque?
Oh, we're probably 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
By foot or by car?
Yeah. Oh, by foot, of course. I run everywhere I go. Unlike this guy over there, Joe. Actually, by car.
So what do you think, Anna Marie? Should we get going?
Yeah, Lee's here. Yeah, why don't we get started? I sent Merton a text. He said he might be traveling to Florida, so
That's
I
true.
I haven't heard otherwise, but.
That's right. And we have Dawn as the backup here, so.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Okay, let me get started with the welcome to the 1960 Clairton High School Spring Zoom Reunion. It's great to see all of you, and I look forward to tonight's down memory lane discussion. What's tonight's agenda? Following my welcome comments, the Reverend Lee Weber will give the invocation. Anna Marie will then give an update on current class items of interest and lead an open-ended conversational style down memory lane discussion. As the lead into the discussion, Anna Marie will facilitate an 18-minute slide music video prepared by Joe Landon
Great.
with
Hey.
many of the pictures provided by Ron and Adele Kuntz. The video includes an in memoriam of the 25 classmates that have passed away since our 55th in-person reunion in 2015. Following the group discussion, Merton Haynes, and if he's not here, Don Chiappetto will offer a class toast. So be sure to have your beverages ready for the toast. And I'll close with some final comments. I'd like to acknowledge the planning committee and thank them for all their work in preparing tonight's Zoom call. The planning committee included Anna Marie, Ron and Adele, Lee Weber, and 2 new members since our September Zoom reunion, Merton Haynes and Don Geppetto. We've had numerous Zoom planning sessions, and it's just, talking about what we're going to do tonight, but also just reconnecting. I'd like to make a special call out to Joe Landon, who has spent a significant amount of time in putting together tonight's slide music video. So let's discuss the Zoom mechanics. Everyone's mic will be muted during the 18-minute slide music video. Following that, everyone's mic will be unmuted for the discussion period. If at any time during the open mic format becomes problematic, the discussion leader will ask everyone to mute and then unmute when talking. Now, I'll leave it up to you as to whether you want to be in the speaker view or gallery view. The speaker view is where the person speaking takes up the entire screen. The gallery view is where we can see a picture frame of everyone on the call with the frame of the person speaking highlighted. Now, how these Zoom mechanics work was included in your invitation email, and you can refer to that if necessary. Before we get started and we mute everybody, are there any questions?
Can we start drinking earlier?
Don't you? Some of us have already.
Some, yeah, don't be the last one. Okay, I guess
Bill's
with
got
that,
it. Bill's got it.
I have one
why
question.
don't you go ahead, Joe?
One question.
I'm going to turn it over now to Lee to give the invocation. Lee?
Thank you, Jim. Of course, on the news is the tragedy again in Colorado. My nephew's daughter was a victim in one of the school shootings, so it's close to home. She survived, but was shot nonetheless. And so the shock is still almost too much to take of where can you go that it's safe. So we're going to pray for some safety and some ceasing of the craziness out there. Join me if you will.
Lee, while you pray, the policeman who was killed grew up in Albuquerque and went to high school here, so a lot of people in Albuquerque are rather upset too.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. And my grandson goes to school in Boulder, so yeah.
Oh, Jane.
Okay. A short prayer. God, we are grateful for all the good that occurs in the life that we live and the life around us. And we thank you for good people who do good things, who are helpful and kind, who are loving. And we pray that more and more that will be what describes us as a people, as a nation. Give us the wisdom and give us the strength to be that kind of person ourselves. Thank you for this occasion that brings us together, the joy that we find in being with one another, and the excitement of knowing that we have a great heritage from a great city of which we were all a part. So bless us as we join together in some remembrances, some laughter, some revelations of what's happening in our lives. We ask in the name of our Lord. Amen.
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 Okay, we'll, Joe, if you want to mute everybody, we'll turn it over to Anna Marie.
Okay, hold on a second. I will do that immediately.
Merton arrived.
Yeah, Merton's with us.
Hi, Mert.
Hi, Mert.
I'm Mert.
And Bill had a question. You didn't raise your hand, Bill.
Raise your glass.
Anna Marie, you have to unmute yourself if you're.
I just did.
Okay.
Wanted to, you all know Joe and you know how hard he's been working on the video. It's been a constant labor of love for Joe. So I think you all enjoy it. It's about 18 minutes long, but it goes very quickly. So Joe, why don't you get it started?
Okay, now for this session here, I'm going to permanently mute everyone because under the current conditions, you can unmute yourself. But I'm going to put us in a mode where you cannot unmute yourself before we start the video. This will take a few seconds before we start.
Memories, memories, memories. we say goodbye to Valley High. Valley
There's a wall between us, and it's not made of stone. Although we're together, I feel so alone. Though you say you love me, there's no warmth in your kiss. Speak your mind, my darling. We can't go on like this. Is it something I've done that changed you? Has something I've said hurt you so? Is there someone else that you care for? Whatever it is, let me know. There's a wall between us. Will it keep us apart? Darling, tear down that wall and mend my broken heart and mend my broken heart. Tear down that
My love, my love, my love, my darling, I need your sweet kiss through a long and sleepless night. Tears I've cried so much. Oh, my love, my love, my love, my darling, I need your caress. Say you'll make my dreams come true, so my life would be complete. I searched the whole world over, looking for someone like you. I knew at the moment I saw you that this love affair just had to be. Oh, my love, my darling, I need your sweet touch. All you have to say is you love me, then my life would be complete. complete. Oh, I sit in my room looking out at the rain. My tears are like crystals, they cover my window pane. I'm thinking of our lost romance and how it should have been. Oh, if we only could start over again. I know you never forgive me, dear, for running out on you. I was wrong to take a chance with somebody new. I sit in my room looking out at the rain. My tears are like crystals, they cover my window pane. I know you never forgive me, dear, for running out on you. Oh, how I long to do the things we used to do. I'm lonely and I'm blue, yet I'll try to get along without you. Start over.
When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you.
You can now unmute yourself if you wish.
Try to unmute yourself now. Joe,
I'm unmuted. Did everybody else try to unmute? You should be able to unmute yourself. These don't have any.
can you unmute everybody? I unmuted myself.
If Anne Marie can unmute, you should be able to unmute yourself as well.
They're shaking their head no.
It makes no, doesn't make any sense. You should be able to unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted. Hello?
Brian's unmuted.
Ryan's unmuted. Anne Marie's unmuted. Does everyone know how to unmute themselves?
Don's unmuted. Don Chappelle.
All right, it worked finally.
I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. You know how to do it. Bottom left-hand part of your screen where it says mute.
Yeah.
There should be a red line through it. Just hit that. That'll unmute you.
Can you hear me? Yes, you can.
Yes.
I can hear you. Brian, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I don't know if
Brian's on. See,
You're on.
Brian's on.
You're on, Brian.
Good.
Bottom left-hand part of your screen, if there's a line through your mute, for your microphone, just click on that. It should unmute you. Has everyone tried that?
They're saying, yeah, that they did. Can you mute everybody and then unmute them by your buttons or what? You can't unmute them?
Let me try that.
Took me about 5 times to get it to work,
That's amazing.
but it worked.
What'd you do, Joe? Did you try it?
Yes, I did.
There's a note.
Can't rate it.
Ron, what'd the note say? Your note.
You something.
You did permanent mute, he says.
I'm permanent.
That's right. I did on permanent. Try that, folks.
Okay now? Yep.
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 Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Finally.
Good to
It
go, man.
Well working.
Believe it or not, I put that command in there several times, worked till now. So
Took me, well,
it's
took
one
me
of those,
5.
one of those things.
You did two mutes. I remember that.
Cass isn't, and
Here I am.
there you are.
Okay,
Andy,
unmuted.
unmute,
I think Brian's not on.
unmute yourself.
Brian, you too.
Brian's
There you go. Brian, you're muted. You need unmuted.
He's got a helper.
See, Rita, you're not the only one.
My helper's my left hand.
Andy,
That's encouraging, Sil.
That's
Andy.
right.
you're muted again. You're muted.
Andy, you're muted.
There you go.
Okay, everybody's all set.
Everybody
Take it away,
on?
Anna Marie.
All right.
Well, that was quite an experience, wasn't it?
You know, Judy went blind.
Silence is golden.
Kudos to
Yo,
Joe.
Joe.
And he's
just
clapping
didn't-
for himself.
Can we all clap for Joe now? 1, 2,
Excellent,
3,
excellent.
go.
Hey.
There you go.
Good clap.
What a great
sound,
video.
Great unmuting.
And for whoever saved all of those things. My gosh. Who saved all that stuff?
Adele,
That would be me.
I figured, my goodness, how did you know?
Well, I had a scrapbook and we took things out of the scrapbook.
Those people.
But you had everything all along. There's a puppy.
The different programs and yeah.
That
I'm
was
glad
great.
we had them.
Super,
That was really
super.
nice.
It
Really
was
nice.
very nice.
Okay,
And,
back to our agenda. The next item is, Brian, you're going to give a 2-minute cameo, which we all did the last time, but you weren't here, so catch up. You can do yours now. You ready?
Am I ready? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, you want a little bit of time log or something? Of course, I graduated from Clairton High School. I went to college for 2 years. Then I bought a farm and became a farmer. And I farmed up until 10 years ago, I guess. And also, in the time I was farming, I did work at a couple town jobs just to keep myself occupied, so my wife would have something to do at home at the farm. So I've been, what do you call it? Retired now for about years.
Retired.
I rented out my farm to a rich farmer friend I have. He farms over probably 2,500 acres. So, but my wife says it's now 10,000 acres.
Wow.
So he farms our farm and we just sit home and I cut a little firewood and keep the home fires going, and that's about it.
Where's the farm?
Yeah.
Our farm is in Meadville, Pennsylvania, 40
Meadville.
miles south of.
Meadville?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been there many times.
Where have you been?
Meadville, many times. Used to have relatives there. Every summer I was there.
Oh, Meadville's the home of Allegheny College, so I don't know
Oh,
if
it is?
you went to Allegheny or know anybody who went to Allegheny.
And,
You
and
had a
one thing-
cattle, didn't you have a cattle farm?
Yeah, I had a cattle farm. We had about 100 head of beef for quite a few years, and then we, when I decided to retire from farming, we sold everything and I rented the farm out to this friend. And now we just fiddle around home here. We usually go to York for a month every other year. Although we didn't make it last year because of this COVID. So we had to but I'm hoping next year we can get back to York for a month. So,
Great.
Tell them where your kids are.
oh, I have a daughter. It's in Jamestown, New York, which is what is it? Hour and a half from us. My son lives in Belgium, and my younger daughter lives in the mountains of Papua New Guinea.
Oh, my.
Wow.
They're scattered around. We see
Hey.
my daughter in Jamestown pretty often, but the rest of them are very, very seldom. But thankful for the communication we have today. We can call on the phone, talk to all of them. We can talk to them through email and Skype. So we keep close, even though they're halfway around the world. So we're happy. We retired, and fortunately, I've had enough money that I'm now totally debt-free and have lots of money to play around with.
Send some our way. We could all use it.
We can all use some.
I'll join you for a European trip.
What he didn't tell you is he is one super pie maker.
Send some pies then.
I baked one the other day and I couldn't remember what temperature to bake it on, so I baked it a little too hot and it got a little brown.
We were up there and had, I think it was lunch one day, a number of years ago, and he made apple pie.
We had a wonderful apple pie. I remember that.
Delicious. It was delicious.
Yep. I won a Connie Award one year for the best pie in Crawford County.
That's fantastic.
Fair.
That's great.
Did we have a home ec teacher that taught you that? Did we have a home ec teacher? Anybody remember?
We did, but I don't.
We did, but I didn't.
Had remembered that. I just remember the shop teachers.
The shop, yeah, right.
Mr. McCormick, right?
Yeah.
Right.
McCormick was,
Didn't we have Mrs. Canera? Wasn't she one of our?
Oh, yeah, I remember
Maybe,
her.
Oh, you're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Any of you guys that had shop remember making anything that you still have, but I made a store. I use that store every day when I build my fire in a furnace. This thing, well, it's got to be 60-some years old, that store.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how anybody has made in shop they still familiar with. So,
Martin, you're muted.
Anybody?
He's muted. The other thing about Brian that you should know is that he trained seeing eye dogs, right?
Yeah, Gene and I trained 15 CNI dogs for blind people.
Oh, boy.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Boy.
Hard to part with them sometimes, though.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to part with them, that's for sure. You get to love them. You just
Yeah.
like a family. So, but we did it knowing when we had their training, they'd go back to the school to help them.
That's great. Good for you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Brian. Nancy, did you want to do one? I didn't ask you to do one.
If you have time. If
Yeah,
not,
we have time. Yeah.
Oh, where do I start? Let me see. I majored in music in college. I wanted to major in math, but I ended up in music because to major in music, you couldn't take hardly any other courses. So anyway, I taught music for quite a few years and I hated it. Oh, God. I was in upstate New York because I could get $2,000 more a year than in Pennsylvania. So, but I had K through 12 band, choir, elementary school, 500 kids a week, and you couldn't get to know anyone. So anyway, I finally got my master's in reading, became a reading specialist. But let me see. I lost 2 husbands. One died in the year 2000 of cancer. And then I got remarried in a couple of years, and he died in 2000. What year did I go to Italy? 2015 of Alzheimer's. And so anyway, I lived in New York State. Then my husband and I moved to Phoenix because he was in construction, and there was no construction in upstate New York. That was in '79. And then when he died, I retired in 2002 from teaching at the gang school in Phoenix. And yes, it was Bloods, Crips. The year I left, the MS-13 was coming in, so it was getting worse then. So then I moved to Colorado, where I did permanent subbing. I was in Colorado. It was my favorite place. It's the most beautiful place in the country, I think. And then my husband died of Alzheimer's, so I moved to Southern California by the Marine base where my son lived. and I lived there for 1 year, and he was moving to Italy. So he was going to work for Armani for a while. He's an attorney. So I moved to Italy with them, and we lived on Lake Como, right down the street from where George Clooney has his place, a little town, and it was just really wonderful. So we were there a whole year, but then Armani decided he would retire. Shame on him. And the new guys took over and got rid of all the old guys. And of course, my son was the newest attorney. So that was that. So we moved back to the US, and here I am in Albuquerque.
Wow.
So
Do you live near your son?
no, my son when he came back, he was here for a while, but the education in New Mexico was next to the lowest in the entire country. And they have one little girl. So they're now back by Newport Beach in California.
Oh.
The other one, and he has just a one little girl, she's 8. And then my other son, he's right on the east side of Lake Tahoe in Nevada. And he has 6 kids, ages 28 to 5. So he's a little strange. So anyway, I did till COVID arrived, a lot of volunteering. But then COVID arrived, so I played. We had 2 choirs here, and I played for those 2 choirs, and one of them was excellent. A lot of former musicians in there, and we used to go to the different senior living places here, assisted living places, and sing. And of course, now you're not allowed to do that. So I did that. I make quilts, knit quilts for the Linus Knitting Club. It's a national organization that makes quilts for the needy, sick, poor, whatever, downtrodden children. And I teach piano class to ladies close to my age. Some of them are like 10 years younger or so. And I teach a ladies' Bible class at our church. So we kept up with that. We were allowed to keep up with it. We kept up with it even though our governor in this state didn't think we should go to our church, but we did it anyway. So that's about what I've been doing.
Wow.
Busy all the time. Now I'm making clothes. My granddaughter, the 8-year-old, has 3 American dolls. So I started making clothes for the American dolls, and they were so cute, and I loved it. So now I'm making American doll clothes, and I'm just now getting my shop advertised on Etsy. So that's what I'm doing while I'm stuck at home.
Good for you.
We're all supposed to be retired, aren't we?
Isn't it nice to be retired? I don't, when COVID first started, it was like, I never knew what it was to be retired. I never stopped from day one. And it was like, what? And I started feeling so lazy. It was like, what is wrong with you? And you can only do so much painting and cleaning in the house. After a while, that's an old story. So, yeah, I finally got busy doing this. And so I'm always doing something. And I'm taking a course called Systematic Theology, which is a college course. And it's kind of in-depth. Lee, you probably know what I'm talking about. But so that's what I do.
Nancy, if we wanted to look you up on Etsy, what would we look for?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I'm just am getting it started. So I have
You have to
make
keep
it
us
up.
posted.
So I'll send an email, or I'm going to send out some emails and stuff. I saw Clairton on Facebook today. Big picture of the Coke Works and all the pollution in Clairton. That was on Facebook. This morning I saw that. Anyone else see that? It's nothing.
They're making a movie. They're making a movie in
Oh,
Clairton.
another movie, Rust.
Rust, American Rust and Rust. That's a shame.
Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels is.
When's it supposed to come out?
I think it's going to be on Showtime. I don't think it's going to be a full-time movie, but Jeff Daniels is supposed to be in it. They had certain streets closed off, I think, this week that they were filming. So
really?
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it like a documentary?
Probably.
No,
it's
it's
a story about.
Go ahead.
Isn't it a story about a town that loses its industry and gets on hard times, which is
Yeah,
Perfect story for, our
yeah, it
background.
is.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. That was
That was
interesting.
great. That was
You're
great.
welcome.
I feel like a
Seeing the
slug.
I remember seeing Nancy's pictures of Lake Como when she moved there. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that was a really fortunate time. And we lived right on the lake. Our balcony was over the lake. And attached to our house, these houses were like 4 stories tall. We had 4 stories. And you get in shape there. Because to get from our little lake road up to the top, there were 170 stairs. Well, when we first got there, I moved, from California to there, and the altitude wasn't all that high, but if I did 50 steps at a time, it was a miracle. I finally got so I could do like 120 of them, and then I would breathe for a few minutes. And then I met a lot of people from around the world who came to visit, and I would walk my dog on the street, and they would stop me and say, mostly ladies in their 50s or whatever, do you know where George Clooney lives? And I would say, yes, right down the street, a quarter of a mile. Do not park in front of his house or you will get fined. Then I met George a couple of times, and he had a motorcycle. He used to be part of the community. He went to our tiny little coffee shop and had his own cup there and everything. But then he married a mall, and she didn't allow him to become part of the community anymore. Heaven forbid. So
Wives do that to you.
so anyway, he had a black Harley, and he had a black helmet with a smoky windshield on it, but apparently he loves dogs, because he would stop, and I have my little Jack Russell then. We took her to Italy, and he stopped, oh, ma'am, can I pet your dog? And he never picked up his windshield or anything. I said, oh, sure, so I pick up Bing. He would pet the dog. Oh, she's so sweet, da-da-da-da. And then he would say, thank you, ma'am. And I would say, you're welcome, George. I knew who it was, because all the paparazzi hung around. That happened 3 different times. And each time, finally the 3rd time, he picked up his visor. May I please pick up Bing? So it was interesting.
That's great.
I could
How
go
exciting.
about that all day, so I'll be quiet so everyone else can talk.
Okay, I had some notes I wanted to pass along to everybody, so we'll get started with that. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Jim for chairing all these committee meetings and arranging all this. He's the one that suggested a Zoom back in, was it June? Something like
Back in June, yeah.
And so he's been a real help in guiding us in the right direction and edging us along. So thank you, Jim. You all know that the Florida picnic is no longer being held. The one at, can't remember the name. Joe, what's the name of the park? Fort DeSoto Park. It's not being held anymore, so don't anybody go.
We go to Florida anyway?
Go to Florida.
Yeah, you can go to Florida. Just
Well, I'll
don't go
stay
to
at Joe's house. It's big enough. I've been
There's
there.
no more DeSoto's either.
And Nancy's been at our house. You guys are all welcome anytime you come down here. Our hotel is always open. We have a swimming pool, jacuzzi.
It's nice. But
We
it's
still
on a lake, and alligators go there.
Well, don't worry about the alligators.
Joe will protect you.
They won't bother you as long as you don't bother them.
Fort DeSoto.
On the CHS reunion picnic the Saturday before Labor Day, we don't know what's going on, do we, Adele?
Well, we will be having a picnic. We're having a planning meeting on the 10th of May. If anyone would like to be on the committee, the first meeting, like I said, is May 10th at Panera in Southland. And we'll take any help we can get. Right now, I have, there will be 10 of us at the meeting that I'm aware of. There are a couple fellas that I know will be at the meeting. The Lions, we usually have a representative from the Lions Club that join us for the meeting. And I've notified all of them. Judy Pirosh Burrows comes. Rita, you're welcome if you would like to join us. I know some you have been in the past. We definitely will have a picnic, whether we have our caterer that we've had in the past. We don't know that. That's our big question mark, but we'll talk about what we're going to do as far as the catering when we have our meeting. We have a healthy bank account. We're going to talk about that as well. And we will plan subsequent meetings. Panera would not let me schedule any additional meetings when I talked with them, but they just opened their meeting room. They're just opening it beginning in May. So we'll schedule future meetings between May and September once we get started. The other thing I wanted to mention is for our class, if we have enough interest from our classmates, we will plan a luncheon the day before the picnic. If we have enough interest, we will do that at the Blue Flame. I'm wondering, Dawn, if you would be traveling in for that. You're one of the classmates that has expressed an interest.
I'll be there. I haven't missed a reunion yet in 60 years.
I know you haven't. I don't know if anyone else would be coming into town for the picnic or not, but
Do
the what?
I say I hope to. Haven't missed one yet.
You hope to, Lee? Okay, very good. I will call the Blue Flame and make arrangements for a lunch the day before the picnic for our class. And we'll make this a 60th reunion. It'll be 61st, I guess, is what it'll actually be, but we'll get together for lunch the day before the picnic for our class, and I will send out emails to classmates so that we can do that. The Blue Flame's been very nice about working with me for doing that.
It's the Saturday before Labor Day, right?
It's the Saturday before Labor Day. It's September 4th is when that is, Bill. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and what we do at the Blue Flame, we order off the menu. Everyone pays their own check. That day, there's no money. We don't make reservations for that. They do have beer and wine that they will serve, and we just gather that day. I like to have an idea of who's coming so that we can give them an idea how many tables they need to set up. So I do like to have an answer from those that are interested in coming so we can give them an idea, but they're wonderful to work with. They've been great. We were all set for last year, but of course then it didn't happen. But I will give them a call and make arrangements for that. Okay?
Okay, thanks, Adele. Couple other short items. Ed Oslander he went to school with us in 10th grade, but then he went to TJ. He was in our last Zoom meeting, some of you might remember. He sent me a recipe for sloppy joes that they had in the cafeteria. And I was supposed to send it out and it got mixed up in some paper. So I'm going to be sending it out or posting it on the website. I haven't tried it yet, but it sounds good. So just wanted to let you know that's coming to the website. The other thing is Kenny Walker graduated with us. I don't know if any of you remember Kenny Walker. Joe, somebody found him and he just made a recording and it's on YouTube. And if you go into YouTube and look for Nothing Like a Good Woman's Love is the name of the song. And there's a picture of Kenny Walker and you can hear him sing the song.
What's the name of the song?
Nothing Like a Good Woman's Love. Okay, and I'll probably put a reference to that on the website too. on the website, all the reunion pictures are now loaded, 15 through 55, thanks to Ron and Adele. Ron would send me, you know, a year, and then I would load them. And then we started at 15 through, I think, 35, because the rest of them were out there. So you might want to check the website and see yourself out there.
Anna Marie, what is it? How come I lost the website? What is that?
Clairton1960.com.
Oh, that's easy. Thank you.
Mhm.
I might even remember that.
I also wanted to tell you, I talked to Bill Bennett yesterday, and he wanted to join us, but he's having trouble with his right ear. Can't hear out of his right ear, so he's got to go to the doctor. So we miss you, Bill, if you're watching the video. And he wanted to say hi to everybody.
Did you remind him he had a left ear? You could use that.
Might have forgotten. No. Okay, there's another thing that's going on in Clairton, and some of you might already know about it, but I have a friend who's a pastor at Pine Run Church in Wilson, and he's very active in Clairton. And there's a project going on the block above the Penclair Hotel, you know, where the Colonial Theater was.
Yeah.
From St. Clair up to where the Colonial Theater was. It's all gone except for the Penclair building. And it's a $16.7 million project. And I have a flyer that I'm going to be posting on the website. You probably can't read this, but anyhow, it is $16.7 million real estate development. It's going to be about 30 apartments, and I think 5 store facades. And the library is going to move from their current location to the new structure. I mean, it's really a project that's going. But anyhow, I met this friend of mine, I think it was Friday, Thursday or Friday, up in Clairton, and we walked through, and I mean, they have earth moving equipment like you would not believe. And most of it, the Colonial Theater had been torn down years ago, I guess, and the rest of it's, you know, big holes in the ground, but they're working on it. And then
you can, I see all this news on, you can go on to Facebook, and Clairton has a site.
That's
right.
All the news on there.
Right. Now, while we were there, he also took me down around the corner. They have a community garden. And you know where the honor roll used to be is a parking lot now. Yeah. And they have installed water drains in through there. I guess it was flooding. And so they've done a lot of work there. And he said they want to do a mural on the building, like in back of where the honor roll used to be. There's a building there. And they want to do a mural. So I don't know what that's going to be like. But then we walked down around the corner. You probably remember Ken's Photography. I think it used to be Ben Axe Photography on St. Clair.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's right across, the community garden is right across St. Clair from there. And they have it all fenced in. And they have raised beds, and different people have different beds, and they have, you know, sheds and then they have some raised ones in case anybody's handicapped, so that they can bring their wheelchair in. They're doing a lot of work there. So who knows, you know, where it's going to go. But the other thing is there are medallions that were in the honor roll, and they have preserved them. And somehow they're going to try to work them into this new construction that they're doing. I thought that was interesting. And you're right, it is on Facebook. So you can see the progress there, but they are actively working on it. Okay.
Not as consequential, but I've heard that the United Methodist Church, one that some of us attended as kids, is going to stop services and be sold. That's the one up on Thompson Avenue near Constitution Circle.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And that makes me feel very sad because the altar furniture there was made out of black walnut by my grandpa Davis.
Oh, wow.
When the church first opened in sometime in the mid-50s, I guess we moved from downtown.
The last item I have is vaccinations. Has everybody gotten their vaccination?
Nope,
Yes.
Yes.
not getting it. I got COVID.
Did you?
You did.
So did Jim.
So did I, but I got my shots anyway.
6 days in the hospital.
Oh, my.
Yeah, scary.
Didn't end up in the hospital, thank goodness.
Wow.
Well, does that give you your immunity? I thought you still had to get the shot.
Well, yeah, they said that you could get them after 90 days. So I got my 2 shots. In Florida, they've just recently, they're down to age 50 to get the shots.
Oh, okay.
They have too many
Okay, that's
that need it, so I'm
that's all. I didn't have any reaction, but Joe had a reaction to the second shot, and I was pretty lucky. I just had a little bit of a sore arm. But Joe, you had tremors, huh?
I had tremors. I had what was typical Parkinson's disease symptoms.
Oh, my.
A few percentage people get that, and I had that. Very terrible. Overnight, I was just shaking. I was freezing. My wife put blankets on me and keep me warm. Didn't work. I just shaking all over. By next morning, it more or less subsided. It was
it Pfizer or Moderna that you had?
Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Second shot.
Yeah, after my first shot, I became very amorous, and my wife didn't know what to expect after
Oh my God.
the second one.
They gave you the wrong stuff.
That's a different kind of shot, Jim.
Or maybe the
It
right-
starts with a V. I agree.
Okay, those are all the news and highlights. Keep checking the website though, because I'm always putting something up on there. So now we can go into memory lane, and I guess you all got the Do You Remember sheet. Did it trigger any memories for you, or did Joe's video trigger any memories for
Oh,
you?
the video was great. Video.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Andy.
Before we go
Just
to the
go in order.
memories,
Who's talking? Andy.
before we
Andy?
go into the memories, I have some information that was passed on to me by the mayor. If I can share it, what's going on in Clairton.
Oh,
Okay.
Can you believe Clairton will be celebrating 100 years as a city in January 2022? And the Clairton Lions Club, 100 years in April of 2022. So much is about to happen here. I am so excited. The Redevelopment Authority of Clairton will be voting on the sales agreement with the Thai Bar. That's a factory that's being back where where we used to hold our breath going through because it smelled so bad, back by the baseball team. And there's a medical center that is being considered being built next to the post office, 16,000 square feet.
wow.
Let's see, we're closing in on the bank. They're going to buy the bank back from the people that bought it and have a community center there
Should have done that.
on the 30th of April for our community center. They're filming a movie in Clairton, which you mentioned, and plenty of new street paving this spring and summer. I will send you more information as I get it. From Mayor Latanzi.
Who's the mayor? Who's the mayor, Andy?
Tansy.
Richard
Rich
Latanzi.
Latanzi.
So what's going on out in the Clairton area and the whole area that's causing the reinvestment of money into the?
I asked Michael, I said, where's all this money coming from, for this construction? And he said, it's all grants.
So the drug sales.
Yeah, probably.
You're right.
I mean, are all the other towns experiencing it, or is it just the local?
I don't know. This flyer that I have, it says Mon Valley Initiative. So I don't know if they all went after the grants. I don't know how all that worked.
The
But
mayor
Mon
and the
Valley
council,
Initiative has
the
something
mayor and the council people have been very busy writing grants over the past couple of years, and they're
Okay.
starting to come in now.
Right.
Yeah,
It's good.
Can I interrupt for a second?
sure.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to get off. It's kicking out on me every 5 minutes.
Martin.
So
Okay, Martin.
I can't guarantee I'll be on another minute. I've never had this happen before, but this sucker will not stay on. Probably
Why don't you log off, maybe log off and log back on?
it's,
Good idea.
it says it's getting too hot. There are probably too many hot chicks on this.
Oh, my.
You got the wrong meeting.
What'd you say, Don?
Vicky has the wrong meeting. He said.
I thought you said. Okay, Mark.
Yeah, it keeps clicking out, so I can't be sure I'd be on another minute or two.
Okay.
I am sorry. I guess it's time for this old baby PC to go away.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Martin.
bye, Martin.
Bye, Mark.
See you, Mark.
Okay, so now we're gonna walk down memory lane. And as I said, you probably all got the do you remember sheet. And in one of our committee meetings, I told them, you know, everybody talks about the cinnamon rolls from the cafeteria, and I never had a cinnamon roll from the
I
cafeteria. I never even.
remember having a cinnamon roll.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have probably been allowed to have one of those.
You took my thunder out of me, Marie. I was going to say I had dirt on you because of that. I thought you might have been the only one in the school that never had one of those.
The entire
I didn't
Others
even
have it.
know about it. I didn't even know about it until everybody started talking about it. And
I didn't
Jeez.
either.
The aroma was so wonderful.
You couldn't pass it up. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why
Maybe they were studying. Maybe they were studying.
Does anybody remember when they moved the house from one street to the other?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Where it was and where your classes were?
Yes, definitely. That
Hey,
was
does
amazing.
anybody remember Pappy Richardson?
he scratched his head with his
Who's
left
that?
hand on the right side.
Pappy, and
Remember
Pappy used to
Pappy
come up to
real
the
well.
girls and Pappy would come up to the girls and he'd always knock them on the head and say, wooden, all wooden. And his teeth would clank together.
Oh, my gosh.
It was a piece of work. He wore spats as well, right?
Oh,
On
my.
his shoes.
For that.
You know, when you think back to our teachers, you know, they were all old, you know, they were all adults and everything, but they were probably a lot of them in their 30s.
Oh, yeah.
When you think of
Oh,
it, they
yeah.
were really young.
We were there once.
Except for
Pappy
Miss.
wasn't young.
He was
You
old.
remember Miss?
what,
She
Rita?
was an English. Miss Collins, the English teacher. She
Yes.
taught my mom. I know
Oh,
she had to be a little.
Didn't she teach Spanish as well?
Miss Ryan. Miss Ryan taught Spanish.
Oh, Ryan.
See, Miss Collins.
Hey, how about Miss, what's her name, Wilson?
Oh,
She
yeah.
taught-
Yeah.
I had her
English.
for English.
She really looked old to me then.
Yeah, she was.
I remember Mrs. Ryan, Rita was in my class and in my Spanish class, and she would say, Senorita Rita. And I know
Senorita Rita.
She had a stutter.
Didn't Miss Ryan have a niece in our class named Elizabeth?
I don't remember
I
that.
remember that. Yeah.
I like Miss Ryan.
Me too. That's
And
what.
the math teacher, Jane Walker.
She was good.
Oh, she was good. Mhm.
I liked her.
Elizabeth
I
E.
had-
Davis was my favorite.
Shaky Pete. He
Oh,
taught
yeah.
geometry.
Oh, I have a
It's
story about
geometry.
Shaky Pete.
What's your story?
Who is
You met
his
him
last
in-
name?
Oh, my
Is it
God.
Patterson?
Poor Shaky Pete. Well, you know,
Algebra.
I had to be really, really, really good in
Geometry.
school because for one thing, the Browns were like, they were like extended families of ours. And then my Aunt Jean Cowan taught there and my mother had taught there until she got sick. And everybody knew me from the time I was adopted at the age of 6. So I had to always be good. Well, I sat right next to Shaky Pete in geometry class.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, some little brat in the class would drop a pencil on the floor, at which point he went crazy. And we didn't know, what did we call it then? Now it's what?
Shell shock, shell shock.
Okay.
Shell
And
shock,
he would look at me and say, Fern Hebner, you go to the office right now. So then I would get up and go to the office, and of course I'd tell everyone in the office who would laugh, and they would keep me there 10 minutes and send me back. But I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had missed,
Poor Shaky Pete. That's so sad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we had Mr. Soich for biology, we always had an interesting experience. Brian and I were in that class together, and he would be instructing, and he would like pull out a big moth picture or something, and he'd say, well, no, this is and he'd name the kind of moth it was. And either Brian or I would say, no, Mr. Source, that's not that. This is and we'd tell him what it was. And we did that a few times. And finally he came up to me and said, if you want to point something out, you point it out after class is over.
Good old
Things
days.
are different, that's for sure.
Well, let me ask you, do you all remember Cho-Cho's?
No.
Cho-Cho's.
The ice cream.
Oh, yeah, the ice cream.
Cho-Cho's.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was malted.
Cream at Isley's.
Malted milk, yeah. You know, I've talked to so many people and they said they never heard of Cho-Cho's.
I never heard that either. My brother's
Yeah.
never.
Do this to it.
Was that in Clairton?
Yes.
Yeah, you had to rub it to get the paper off.
Wow.
Hey, how about the skyscrapers at Isley's? Remember?
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Grocott worked there. And Betsy
Who worked there?
Grocott. Remember? You remember him?
Who?
Mr. Grocott. Mr. Grocott.
Yes, definitely.
He would give those skyscraper ice cream cones.
It looked like a garden spade they used
Yeah.
to get your ice
And,
cream.
and once you left the Pittsburgh area, you could never find chipped beef,
That's
Chipped
right.
ham, chipped ham, you're right.
chipped ham.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was-
now-
I had a friend who was a member of my church in Massachusetts, and he was from Pittsburgh. So when he moved back to Pittsburgh, and when he would come up, he would bring chipped ham and Reamer's Blend, if anybody remembers that one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And whenever I would come down, I always had to get some Vermont maple syrup and bring it down to him.
Yeah.
That's a fair exchange.
Chipped ham.
And then whenever I got out of college and went and worked in New York, they had to teach me that Washington was really Washington.
Right, yeah, I know.
Ewan's didn't cut it
Yeah.
anymore.
No
How about-
dumping?
How about Still Mill? Still Mill.
Still milk.
Oh, yeah.
And when we wanted to go downtown Clairton, we would always say down street.
Down
Yeah.
the street.
I
And
said
yeah,
up
down
street.
street,
I
but if
live-
you went into Pittsburgh, that's when you were going into
Downtown.
downtown.
Yeah.
Or if you lived in a terrace, you say, they live up in a terrace, up in a terrace.
Up in the terrace.
Up
Yeah.
on the terrace, yeah.
And I lived on Shaw Avenue, so we would go up street.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm telling my
down.
kids and the grandkids that to get to school, you walked,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and the kids nowadays, they don't go anyplace without being
Their
chauffeured.
car.
Helicopter parents, yeah.
You remember going to the pool, you hitchhiked.
You hitched, exactly, yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
hitchhike from Penn State to Clairton.
I did that once too, yeah. Coming home, I guess,
Yep.
yeah.
What was the name of the long curvy street that came down off of Constitution
Drive.
Circle area?
East
What was
Drive.
that?
East Drive.
East Drive.
East Drive, yeah. That was the best
That was
street in the
fun,
world to
yeah.
sled ride down.
Sled riding, yes.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, that was the
8th Street,
best.
8th Street was pretty good for sled riding too. 8th Street was very steep.
I lived on Constitution Circle, but see, to get home, you had to, from the high school, you had to walk up East Drive.
East Drive, yeah.
That's a long
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember
Wouldn't
that.
do that now, probably.
Thanks for the memory, yeah.
Where'd you live on the circle, Jim?
Bill, you didn't have any hills in Alrama, did you?
It was all hill.
Oh, I just thought I'd wake you up there. You haven't said anything.
It started at 8:37 and went right down to the river.
Wow.
We didn't have any sleds though.
Yeah, we couldn't afford them either.
You were too poor to have sleds, huh, Bill?
That's
Has anybody seen the TV show now that a couple returns to Pittsburgh and rehabs homes?
Rehabs what?
Oh, it's a couple who used to live in Pittsburgh and they moved away and they come back to the city, various places in the city. One the other day was from Fox Chapel, and they completely rehab a home.
Oh,
it's a
no.
beautiful, beautiful show. I think it's on Discovery.
What's it called?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out right now. Pittsburgh something. Back Home Again or something like that.
Okay.
I'll find out and let you know. Really great. It's great to see the city.
No.
I know.
Well, let me ask you a question. On this sheet, it says, who was the bear and drum major? I remember the bear was Lynn Crawford.
Lynn Crawford.
But we didn't have a drum major, did we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Who was it?
He's a
Mickey
tall guy.
Nicholas was a drum major the year before us.
Can't remember his name. Who was
Billy
it?
McTaggart was one a couple years before us.
Don.
Can't remember the name, but I could see his face.
Never mind.
What a band.
I don't know.
I can't remember anybody.
I can't remember anybody either.
It wasn't.
They haven't all
was
lost
it-
their
was it
memory.
Dave
I can't
Matz?
remember either, though.
Was it Dave Matz?
I think it
That
was.
sounds- yeah, I think you're right.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Matt.
Only coming back.
Ron's getting the annual.
Well, it was Dave Matz, I think.
We
Yeah.
got it, Dan, Ron, whatever your name is.
And the other
Bill's husband.
we were talking about teachers, and everybody remembers Mr. Pinto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was scared to death to give their speeches. I looked up his obituary. He was at our picnic a couple of years ago, and he had had a stroke. But I looked up his obituary. He lived in Greensburg, and I think he was about 83 years old. But he was a young guy when he was teaching us.
Very young.
Seem to remember him as you.
Is Dawn Taylor still living?
Yes,
Yes.
he lives
90,
there,
90 what, 6, 5?
something like that.
He was at our last reunion, our last picnic, right?
He'll be at the picnic this year if he's still able to be there. His
Yeah.
wife brings him.
See, that proves my point. When he was teaching us, he was only 25, 26.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's out of college.
Who
Yeah.
was? Who was? Sylvan.
Do you remember how he taught the Civil War, how he literally wrapped the whole Civil War around the blackboards in his room?
Yeah, that was great.
I remember that.
That was great.
Got the
Dawn
name of
Taylor.
that show if anybody's interested. It's called Home Again with the Fords.
Home Again with the Fords.
With the Fords on HGTV.
Oh,
Huh?
okay.
Home Again. I think you'll enjoy it.
I've seen that. But is it Back Home Again or just Home Again?
Just Home Again. Home Again. So who's this young teacher that was teaching the Civil War? I
Don
missed that.
Taylor.
Don Taylor.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, he was great.
When Don
He's-
Taylor was very young, he saved me when my mother died.
How was that?
My dad was working in the mill, Don Taylor.
Yeah.
I lived on Bessemer Avenue, 2 doors from him, and my mommy told me to wake her up when I had just been adopted at 13 months, and I was 3 now, I guess. Told me to wake her up when the bell rang on the stove, and I kept trying to wake her up, and I couldn't. And
Oh.
I went down the street and knocked on the door at Don's house because his younger brother Eddie was my little friend. But knocking on the door, but I guess I didn't knock very loud, and I couldn't hear it. So then I started screaming. Anyway, Don came out and saved me and carried me.
My goodness.
Odd story.
I think the youngest teacher we had, we didn't have her because she taught, she came in our year, was Hoffy. Anybody remembers that? Bertini's wife.
But what did she teach? I can't remember.
Miss Hoffy.
English. She taught
Yes.
English.
In
Oh,
10th and
that's
11th
right.
grade she taught, so we didn't have her.
But then there was the French teacher that the boys all liked because she had these big, you know,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
She
Yeah,
had
big
big
what?
What was her name?
Big chest, Furneaux.
Mrs.
like the
Furno. Mrs.
Furno.
Furno.
Mrs. Furno. Oh, yeah,
like the
Virginia,
voice.
Virginia Furno.
And
Oh,
she,
my.
Virginia, yes.
she flaunted it too.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can tell you, she'd bend over your desk
I
as,
thought it was
as a guy
horrifying.
anyway. How could you concentrate?
And
Your
the
hormones
bell-
were there then.
The bell rang.
She
and
was
you
always,
couldn't stand up.
she was always putting her arms around you too.
Yeah.
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 When Perno caught me cheating in French, she said I took a knife and stuck it in her heart and twisted it.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
Dramatic, very dramatic.
Back up a minute to Miss Hoffy. She married Mr. Bertini,
Yes.
Right.
and
Oh, okay.
they lived 3 doors down from me.
Ah,
And he died, I don't know, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. She's still there. She's still skinny. She's still very attractive. Very isolated. You know, she's not a real outgoing. She keeps to herself an awful lot, but she's very nice. So I just thought I'd tell you, she's still alive, but she would be in her mid 80s probably.
They never had any kids, huh?
That's so far away, is it?
not so far away.
Down the road.
Not
Did
too
They
far.
got married. They got married in 1960.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember that year.
graduated.
Yeah.
It was a good year.
That's why
Did
we're here.
anybody work on the yearbook?
Yeah.
1950?
I did.
I did. Jean Cowan, Aunt Jean was
Oh,
in charge of that. That was Annette's mother.
Annette's mother, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we hear from Annette or Harold Drexler?
I hear from Annette all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You know, Carol Drexler sent me an email and she said she wanted to join the group, but she volunteers at the hospital this evening. And she said she wouldn't be back until, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock.
The rate we're going, we'll be here then.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, what do you think? Should we?
Yeah, we had said, we had planned for about 90 minutes and we're at that point. So
Oh, wow.
if anybody wants to have some final comments and
One final comment there, Jim, regarding just like the first reunion, I will put on my my page, YouTube page, the recording of this as well as the slideshow.
Oh, that's great.
that's great. And that was a real hit because we heard, Anna Marie heard from a lot of the folks who weren't able to attend and they were able to watch that.
It's
Some
under
of them watched the, all of it.
It's
and
under
others
my
just-
name in case you don't know. Joseph Landon. You'll see a picture of a triathlete crossing the finish line, and because there's several Joseph Landons out there in the world.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's for me. And if you open that up, you'll see the first reunion.
Yeah, we'll put through Anna Marie, an email out with all the particulars on that.
I have 2 things. Number one, I'd like to thank Andy for all of the Clairton history that he puts on Facebook. And of course, his jokes too. But the Clairton history has just been marvelous. And my second thing is, why is Maria so dang silent?
Maria.
Maria, that would be you.
It's always quiet.
Yeah, you're still
So quiet.
quiet. I was always quiet too, but I'm not anymore.
You've been saving it up, I can
Heard much
see.
from Maria or from Larry. Larry hasn't said much.
No,
Larry.
he's muted.
He's muted.
No, he's not.
He's still
He is.
muted, yeah.
Now he is.
He's got an arrow through his mic.
Yeah,
No, it's off, but I can't hear
Yeah,
him.
now it's
now
off.
it's off.
Wake up, Larry. We just acknowledged you.
All right, can't hear you.
Yep, not gonna work.
Mic not working.
And now we hear him.
He's laughing. There he
Here
is.
now?
He's
There you
alive.
are, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm just sitting quietly and listen. I think I'm going to retire one of these days.
You ought to try it. It's not pleasant at all.
I just sold
Right,
3
Nancy?
companies in December. So I'm
Right.
done, just about.
Oh,
Okay.
All righty. Again, thank everybody. We started this.
Let me make two comments. Please,
Sure, Bill,
Jim.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I don't know if I was being heard. One on Carol Drexler. I gave her a full report of our last reunion, and she needs a little bit of encouragement. So anybody that remembers Carol fondly, say, Carol, we're looking for you next time.
Yeah.
And she could probably shift around her volunteering. And the second thing is I'd like to second the thanks to Andy for all the laughs and words. I mean, those are just wonderful surprises every time they pop in. So thank you, Andy.
You have
We all second that.
Carol Drexler on Facebook or?
I don't know that she's my cousin and we correspond with email. I don't know if she's on Facebook or not.
What's her last name?
Oliva.
Oliva, that's right.
Like Olivia?
Good for you, Adele, for remembering that.
Yes,
I
we
think of her
corresponded
still.
Christmas time with Carol. So we've been in touch. Her last name is Oliva.
Okay.
Right.
I can remember when we were in high school, there was a musical and she sang the lead. And I can remember one of the words that was, one of the songs was something to do with the icing on the cake. I don't remember anything else, but I remember her singing, and she was such a good singer.
She was
That's a nice thing to remember.
Anna Marie, that sounds like a segue for my assignment.
There you go.
Icing on the cake.
Before you toast, though, I forget where everybody's coming from. Could we just quickly say where? I know friends from Albuquerque, and I don't know where everybody else is coming in from. Could you just?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas, yeah. Andy is right. Where's
And
everybody?
Lee. I'm also from Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Who's in Cincinnati?
Larry.
Who's in
Larry's
Cincinnati?
in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Me too. Cincinnati.
Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida.
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Who
Pittsburgh.
else lives in Orlando? So said they live in Orlando.
Joe's in
Oh.
Orlando.
Naples, Florida.
All right.
Philadelphia, PA.
Green Tree outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Maria, where'd you say you're from?
North Caldwell, New Jersey, where they filmed The Sopranos.
That was in Bloomfield. Don't take credit for
Yeah,
that.
didn't you see her in that movie?
Yeah, I saw her.
Those are our people, right?
Yeah.
Right. Rita and Judy, where are you coming from now?
Elizabeth Township for me.
Where?
Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Yeah. And I'm from
All right.
Pittsburgh.
And Pittsburgh. All right, good. Thank
I'm
you.
Pleasant Hills. Bill, where are you living these days? South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, okay.
Did we get everybody?
That's about it.
Brian Weber from Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Meadville, right.
Farmer. All the,
Yep.
yeah, the two cameos all the way from being a farmer to living on Lake Como.
Not bad.
Wonderful.
Yeah. All
Wonderful.
right. I
That was
guess
great.
we're at that point now where
Toast.
last item on the agenda is the toast, and I'll follow that with some closing comments. So Don, you're pinch hitting, so take it away.
Merton's on the wagon, so I get second chance here to lift a glass to all you guys and the others that didn't show up. Hopefully the next time we get together, there'll be more of us than 16, but it's always good to see at least one of you. So good luck to you all. Stay healthy and see you next time.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And thanks to the committee. You guys
Yes.
have done a wonderful job for a number of years. I can't think how many.
Yeah. Well, great.
You guys can come to Vegas again.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Come to
Now that
Vegas.
I can go to Vegas, you don't come here anymore.
With my closing comments are that we started this planning back when the pandemic really first started, when we had to cancel the reunion, the in-person reunion,
He had COVID. He
the
was in
picnic.
hospital
And
6 days. or
so
six-
the Zoom meeting took its place. We had it in September, and survey results said, let's have something else. So At this point, the planning committee has decided that this will be for purposes of what this planning committee has organized, our last Zoom meeting, and it'll be followed up with the in-person September park picnic. What I would encourage people, keep in touch. I know that through our activities here, I've reconnected with some friends on Facebook and follow them and vice versa. And, you know, probably because of this, Ron and Adele are going to visit my wife and I at the end of April on an angel visit down here in Florida. So that's all keeping in touch. And so I would encourage that. As Joe had mentioned, we'll be sending out through Anna Marie the information on the YouTube of this entire video. So with that, that's all I have. Good health and good night, everybody.
Good night.
Great to see you all.
Terrible to see
Good night.
everyone.
Stay
healthy.
safe, stay safe and
Stay
healthy.
safe and well and healthy.
Thank you all.
All right, good night.
See you in September.
Bye.
Right.
Yes.